Let me be straight with you. I am a professional musician. I have played in bands, toured cities, and written songs people actually paid for. I thought I understood how music works on the human mind. But there is one thing that humbles me every single day. Certain songs, even cheap radio jingles, get stuck on repeat in my head, and I have no idea why. Here is what bugs me most. I should be immune to this. I dissect melodies for a living. I know chord progressions, hooks, song structure, all of it. Knowing how the magic trick works usually ruins the magic, but not here. The dumbest little tune can loop in my skull for hours while my own carefully written songs sit quietly. That contradiction is what started this whole investigation. So I went looking for the science, and that is where things got frustrating. Most videos on this topic just repeat the same vague claims. Catchy songs are catchy. Repetition matters. Thanks. Very helpful. Nobody actually digs into the mechanism. I wanted the real answer, not surface level filler. So I decided to research it myself and bring you what actually holds up. Let me take you back. Years ago, I came to Los Angeles, fresh and ready for the music scene. I turned on the radio and got hit with something I had never experienced. Jingle after jingle after jingle, back to back, all day long. As a musician, this was sensory overload, but one of them latched onto my brain and refused to let go. Kibbles and Bits. That was the one. A dog food jingle of all things. I do not even own a dog. There were 100 catchier melodies on that radio dial, songs with real production and real hooks. But this little four-word jingle moved into my head rent-free and stayed for weeks. I kept asking myself one simple question. Why this one? That question is the whole reason you are here. The phenomenon even has a scientific name. Researchers call it an earworm, or involuntary musical imagery. Involuntary is the key word. Your brain plays the song without your permission. You did not click play. There is no off button. It just runs in the background like a program you never opened. So what is actually happening up there? Here is the first real piece. Earworms live in a part of your brain called the auditory cortex. This is the region that processes sound. Studies using brain scans show that when a song gets stuck, this area lights up exactly as if you were really hearing it. Your brain literally cannot tell the difference between music playing and music remembered. It performs the song internally. Now we get to the contrarian part most people miss. Earworms are not random. Researchers found that stuck songs share specific musical traits. They tend to have a faster tempo and an easy, predictable up and down melody shape. But they also have one weird, surprising twist, an unexpected interval or a leap that breaks the pattern. Simple enough to follow, odd enough to remember. That explains Kibbles and Bits perfectly. The jingle is dead simple, just a few notes you can predict instantly. But that little rhythmic bounce, that catchy hiccup in the phrasing, is the surprise. Your brain loves a pattern, and it loves a pattern that almost behaves, but does not quite. That tiny rule break is the hook your memory grabs onto and refuses to release. There is a deeper reason this happens, and it comes down to incompleteness. Psychologists call it the Zeigarnik effect. Your brain hates unfinished business. When a song stops before it resolves, your mind keeps it active, trying to complete it. A jingle that ends on an open note leaves your brain hanging, so it replays the loop again and again, searching for closure it never gets. This is genius design when you think about advertisers. A jingle is engineered to be incomplete and repetitive on purpose. It is short, it loops, and it plants itself before resolving. They are not trying to write a good song. They are trying to write a sticky one. And sticky beats beautiful when the goal is selling dog food to a musician who has no dog. But repetition alone is not enough. And here is where it gets personal. Earworms need exposure. The more you hear something, the more likely it loops. In Los Angeles, I heard that jingle constantly during my commute. Every single drive, there it was. My brain got drilled on it like a scale. Sheer frequency carved a groove that my own original music never got from radio. Now stack on emotion and memory. Earworms latch harder when tied to a moment. That jingle was glued to my arrival in a brand new city, a huge emotional chapter of my life. My brain bundled the song with the excitement, the nerves, the newness of LA. So it was not just a melody anymore. It was a bookmark for a feeling I will never forget. Here is a curveball researchers discovered. Earworms strike most when your mind is free. Walking, showering, doing dishes, driving. When your brain is not busy, it goes looking for something to chew on, and it grabs the most available melody. That is why long, boring commutes are earworm factories. An idle mind is the perfect stage for an involuntary song to step into the spotlight. There is also a personality angle that surprised me. Studies suggest people who engage with music a lot get earworms more often and for longer. That stung a little. Being a musician does not protect me. It makes me more vulnerable. My brain is constantly attuned to melody, scanning, analyzing, absorbing. So the very thing that makes me good at music makes me a prime earworm target. Let me bust a myth right now. People say the only cure is to finish the song in your head. Sometimes that works because it satisfies that need for closure we talked about. But honestly, it often just resets the loop. You play it through, feel relief, then it starts again 10 minutes later. Closure is part of the puzzle, not the magic delete button people promise. So what actually helps? Research points to engaging your working memory. Solving a puzzle, reading something difficult, or chewing gum, weirdly enough. Chewing interferes with the part of your brain that subvocalizes the tune. Anagrams and Sudoku occupy the same mental machinery the earworm is using. You cannot just will it away. You have to give your brain a better job to do instead. There is also the listen all the way through approach with the actual recording. Hearing the full real song, not just the loop, can complete the pattern your brain is stuck on. It is different from replaying it mentally. The external version gives your mind the real resolution. For my Kibbles and Bits problem, though, the jingle was so short there was barely a full version to hear. Here is the part nobody admits. Earworms are not all bad. They might actually be your brain practicing memory and consolidation. The looping could be a side effect of how you store and rehearse information. So that annoying jingle is your mind working out, keeping its pattern recognition sharp. That dumb tune might be a feature of an incredibly powerful system, not a glitch. Let me bring it back to my craft. As a songwriter, this research changed how I think. I used to chase beauty and complexity, but stickiness comes from simplicity, repetition, a surprise hook, and an unresolved ending. The best earworm songs are not the most sophisticated. They are the most psychologically engineered. That little jingle understood something about brains that took me years to unpack. So why that one jingle out of 1,000? Now I can finally answer it. Simple melody my brain could predict. A surprising rhythmic twist it could not ignore. Brutal repetition on every commute. An unresolved loop begging for closure. And a powerful emotional memory of arriving in a new city. All 5 forces hit at once. That is the perfect storm for a stuck song. The honest truth is the science is still incomplete. There is no single tidy formula, and anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something. We have strong clues, solid studies, and clear patterns. But the brain keeps some secrets. As a musician, I find that comforting. Music can still surprise the experts. The mystery is part of why it has owned me my entire life. So next time a jingle moves into your head, do not fight it like an enemy. Recognize it for what it is. A simple, repeated, slightly surprising, unresolved tune that caught your idle mind at the perfect moment. Your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. It is a strange compliment to the power of a well-built hook, even a tiny one. That is everything I dug up chasing my own Kibbles and Bits obsession. If a melody is stuck in your head right now, tell me which one in the comments. I am genuinely curious what hooks your brain. Subscribe if you want more deep dives where a working musician questions the things everyone else takes for granted. Now go enjoy the song you cannot escape.